Have you ever felt completely let down by someone? A friend who wasn't there when you needed them? A partner who didn't live up to a promise? Or a family member who just didn't seem to understand you? It hurts, right? It feels like a betrayal, like they failed you. But what if I told you that maybe, just maybe, people don't actually fail us? What if the real source of our disappointment isn't them, but our own expectations? This is a tough concept to swallow. It sounds like we're letting people off the hook, or even blaming ourselves for feeling hurt. But stick with me, because understanding this gray truth can radically change your relationships and bring you so much more peace. Think about it. When we form a relationship, we unconsciously build a mental model of the other person. My best friend should always be available to hang out. They have their own thoughts, their own struggles, their own priorities, and their own way of seeing the world. They are living their lives trying to perfectly match the character you've written for them in your head. They're just living their life. So when they do something that doesn't align with our expectations, we feel a sharp sting of disappointment. We think, how could they do that to me? We feel like they've broken a contract. But the truth is, there was no contract. It was a one-sided agreement that existed only in our own minds. They didn't fail us. They simply acted in a way that was true to themselves, which just happened to be different from what we expected. Let's take a common example. We need to trust the people in our lives will be generally kind, respectful, and honest. Those are healthy boundaries. The danger lies in having rigid, unspoken, and highly specific expectations about how people should act, think, and feel at all times. So, what's the solution? It's a two-part process: radical acceptance and open communication. First, radical acceptance. This means accepting people for who they are, right now, not for the potential you see in them or the idealized version you wish they were. It means understanding that everyone is on their own journey, dealing with their own invisible battles. Their actions are usually a reflection of their own internal state, not a judgment on your worth. When you can look at someone and say, I see you, flaws and all, and I accept you, it frees you from the constant cycle of disappointment. You stop trying to change them or control them and start appreciating them for who they truly are. This acceptance also applies to yourself. Accept that you will have expectations and that you will feel disappointed sometimes. That's a normal human experience. The goal isn't to become a robot with no feelings. The goal is to recognize where the feeling is coming from. Instead of saying you disappointed me, you can say, I feel disappointed because I was hoping for something different. See the shift? It moves the focus from blame to personal feeling, which opens the door for a real conversation. Which brings us to the second part: open communication. This is the game changer. So many of our expectations are unspoken. We just assume people should know what we want and need. We assume they can read our minds. They can't. If something is important to you, you have to voice it. Instead of silently hoping your partner will plan a surprise for your anniversary, you could say, hey, our anniversary is coming up, and it would mean the world to me if we could plan something special together. I love it when we make an effort for these things. Now, you've turned an unspoken expectation into a clear, kind request. You realize that your peace of mind doesn't depend on everyone else behaving perfectly according to your script. Your peace comes from within. It comes from acceptance, understanding, and your ability to communicate your needs clearly and kindly. So, the next time you feel let down, take a break. Pause before you jump to the conclusion that you've been failed. Consider the great truth. People aren't failing you. They are just being themselves. And it's your expectations that are creating the gap between your reality and your desires. Close that gap not by trying to control others, but by managing your own mind. It's one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself in your relationships. Thanks so much for watching. If this idea resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights on navigating life and relationships. See you in the next one.